welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we are on this do-it-yourself lace closure wig. We're at the point where we are going to add heat and do some curling. I won't be doing much talking because this is a show and tell. However, I will be keeping an eye on the comments as much as I possibly can so I can address them, especially if you're thinking about attempting this yourself. So we finna lock in. You can never be too careful. Got to be careful. We're just bumping the ends, and just since this is synthetic hair, we ain't finna play with it. We finna let that stay just like that. Let me see if I can get y'all a better angle. And then you see that curl there? Yeah, we're gonna bump the ends all the way through. Couldn't find a flat iron, so we're gonna do the best we can. Just combing through first before anything else. Nope. We just finished applying shea butter all throughout it, so this is safe, and this is synthetic hair. I've done stuff similar to like this before. well moisturized hair. I'll let that stay like that. And it's curling okay, it's synthetic. And I get that the product you put on the hair kind of puts a barrier between that and the heat. And I think that's the concept of how heat protecting works. I have a link to the one I recommend that I can't find nowhere up in here. I don't know where. Watch it pop up after I'm done with all this. But it's in the link is in the description of this video and all the other ones I've been doing. It's labeled products I like. So if you click on that, you'll see a list that says hair products. And it's the red and black bottle. We're just holding it here just a little bit. And this is our protective mat that we have. And we're just leaving the curls. They look flimsy, but what we're doing is letting them hang towards the floor. Floor is clean. In case you're wondering, just to curl them like this so they can cool that way before we get to cut and how much ever we finna cut and trim. We ain't finna cut a whole lot, I do know that. And because product is in there, it's going to dry and cool, but because that shea butter it stays in the hair for days. Along with me curling the hair, it should work together as a team. Come on now. And make sure you're toggling your heat. If you're going to attempt something like this, toggle it on and off so it doesn't overheat. Because if you get too high heat applying to synthetic hair, human hair, it'll smoke and catch fire. Synthetic, it'll melt. We don't want that. So toggle with it on and off. And so this tool got a little bit more heat on it. Now I switched it off. And we're just letting it do what it do. Now this would be more quick to melt, I believe, had not we spent all that time last night, applying all that shea butter on it as a protective layer. You see how that works? Look at God. I didn't even know that. Okay, got a little curl here. I was wanting a bit more curl. You know how curl straight, you ever seen straight hair where it's bumped inwards? Yeah. But let me do lock in. gonna let these ones in the back section cool while we move on to another section. This is why I need my glove. We all right though. So we got this section done. Now we got one last one. And I'm just letting it drape the floor. Floor is clean. Because I want the curls to keep shape and cool as they, I want them to cool as they keep shape. That's how it goes. And the thing about synthetic hair, once you curl it, it keeps shape. It keeps shape, baby. It keeps shape. Okay. This is why I'm taking my time. When you curling with heat, you don't rush. This is not some, 30 minutes, because then you'll be 30 minutes. Another good thing shea butter is good for. Healing that skin. There we go. Getting that together. All right. Close that. We'll try. And I also think that shea butter, I'm seeing it melt off on this curling wand too. You know what? I'm not going to go all the way to the end. I don't have to be all the way to the end. We can fix this. We can fix it. All right, let's lock back in. So we got all these sections done, and I'm going to let all of this cool because I want the curls to cool in place. I want nothing disturbing that. We're not even going to talk about cut later. Let it stay. Now this is a section that we still need to run shea butter through. So remember, well, for those of you that were here, if you weren't, run it back yesterday's video. Okay. We only ran it through this quarter of it. So it's now time to tackle the last 25%. You know, I don't know what kind of math that is. I don't know. All right, we're locking back in. We having a little tangle through here, but ain't nothing a little heat can fix. I don't mean the curling iron this time. Oh, we gonna fix it. It's all right. This is why you take your time. If you can, work from bottom, work from the bottom all the way to the root, the scalp, from the bottom all the way to the scalp of a wig. Lace, cap, whatever it's made out of. Okay. This goes for all wigs, both synthetic and human hair. Like, take your time, sis. Don't be in a rush. Don't be in a rush. We're going to need heat, but not necessarily curling iron. All right. It's time. So let's move this curling thing out the way. We finna fix this. We finna fix it. I used to do this all the time. Go ahead and fix and untamed hair, whatever you want to call it. Oh my baby, went from looking to be tore up from the floor up to tell me what your name is. That's how the transformation supposed to go. That's all I'm saying. All you need is a good product and not necessarily expensive to fix it, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. That's all. And some patience. Patience, a good set of combs, a wide tooth, a fine tooth, a blow dryer, a flat iron if you have one. Of any size, you can make it work. Not necessarily a big one. Big or small if you got one. And a good product. And what I am noticing here when I was on the curling part, that I kept seeing the shea butter sweat off the hair onto the curling iron when I was on that. And so that was a protective layer preventing it from burning and overheating. So you could work with synthetic hair. It's fine. It don't mean you can't afford the human hair. I mean, you know, I've heard all kind of crazy off the wall stories about human hair and the condition. Like, you got to know how to take care of that. And so I just happen to know how to take care of both to a certain extent. I am not an expert. Okay. I just want to let you know that. We're gonna tilt this. Because we're gonna fix it. I don't really think at this point the top half and the roots of it, the scalp, the inner part needs shea butter because of how I'm parting through this. Because I just went ham. Y'all should have seen me. It's up on the channel. Oh, noise warning. Let me be polite. Noise warning. For all headphone users, for all non-headphone users, for if you play it on speaker, here's your warning. Okay. Sound incoming. And let me put it towards me so we don't have issues. And so you might not see me all the way, but I'm here. Noise warning. 3, 2. And we're not necessarily doing it all the way down the shaft of the hair, just the roots that we weren't able to get, because you remember it's been sitting in one place. Synthetic hair takes shape very well. They have to use heat to get it back out, go shape it into something else. Okay, I think we're getting somewhere with it. So what I'm going to do, since I don't want to use the curling iron again, I'm going to show y'all how to bump ends with a blow dryer and a comb. It's possible. You can do it. I've done it before. When I didn't have nothing else, or when I didn't feel like using anything else, or maybe I had a little segment, but it was just okay. So you can make anything work. Make it look like a whole human hair. Like you done spent a couple, $dollars. You can make it look that way. Now watch. Going a little crazy. I want you to wrap that hair around there as if it's a curling iron and use the blow dryer to curl it. And you want to stay in place for a couple minutes too. you see how that's bumped just a little bit, but not to my liking. It's possible. It's not to stay there long. You want to be doing this with a very light hand, because the heavier you go, you're increasing the likelihood of tangles. After all the work I just did, no. Take your time and be very light-handed. Stretcheroo. we do. This thing got to stay in place. Oh, what fun it is for the thing to pull out the socket. Let me comb and tame this sister girl over here, because keep trying to act up, and we ain't got time for that. All right, we're getting into the curled bumped ends and the curled bumped hair. When I tell you this on cam is not doing it justice to what it is in person, it's not. It's not even doing it any justice at all. Like, I don't have words. I don't have words. I don't have words. This is God in action. It really is. None of this is me, it's all God. God doing this big one. You feel me? Like, really? For I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. Hey, look, I'm today years old, okay? Maybe we can attempt it now. We got it in some kind of order. A little bit. No, still. Okay, don't worry. We're not worried. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and evidence of things not seen. It's okay. And see, for those of you that saw last night's part, putting shea butter through it, can you imagine had I not put this product on the hair, which is clearly still in there? Baby, I would be having a time. I'd be having a time right now. I can sense what done happened now. We're gonna keep it just like that. Okay. I had to get that thing over this. Now, I just want to have a good look at it. So let me talk you through it. Hold on. Because see, I got to get a better angle. I'm just setting up a better angle. And I need y'all to see a better angle. Because right now, the way I'm working is just like, So I'm going to talk y'all through it until I get back on camera. Let me move stuff around, move this around. Good, baby. It ain't working the way I'm doing it. And so I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. And we shall be back on camera. Listen, I ain't going nowhere. I know this ain't gonna work the way I'm doing it, and the blow dryer keep going off. Like, you look here, fam. What you not finna do is do that. We're gonna move in that angle, and by the time you see me, okay. Okay, let's take that off. And oh, it turns back on. Good. Hold on, almost ready. There we go. There we go. That's what I need. Yes. Now we might actually have to put gel on it at this point. And we're definitely gonna need to secure it. But right now it is what it is. So right now it look a little crazy, but I just wanted to see where I was at. That's all. I just wanted to see where I was at. And so took it off the block and see what we're working with. I bet I can blow dry it much better now. Much better. Okay, see, now I got a better handle on it. I think I'm gonna continue like this and then put it back on the block. Okay, yeah, cause that thing will aggravate me. This with all full of shea butter versus this untamed for now. Oh, we almost there. We almost there. Put this to the back. Okay. can leave that at the back. Now we need to see if we could split this and change what the parting is doing. See, we ain't even talking about layers right now. I don't even know what, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing next. Right now, we taming this right now. That's the only thing I'm worried about right now. What's going on right now? What do we need to do right now? I think it's better that way. Element of surprise. Okay, we need one more item because we are going to have to get to a point because it's so much. We need to make sure we tame it first before we think about doing anything else to it, whatever that will be. Let's hold that. I do see some trimming that we need to do. Yep, definitely had to do that because we can knot up. That's the thing about curling hair. If it's going, you want to go in the same direction, but if not, or you're not really paying attention to it much, there's a possibility of tangling. There's the possibility of tangling. There's also the possibility of tangling with you curling in the same direction. Okay. This lace is out of place, but we're gonna fix that. I know just what to do to fix it. You don't want your wig sliding. I got a funny story I think I had told about the time my wig slid out of place when I was in school age. Baby. After that, I started locking and securing everything down, including wig, starting with the wig, okay? After that, you should be able to shake. You should be able to, look, here's the way I think about it. You should be able to shout in church with a wig on if you wear wigs, or you wear them and make them like me, with no fear of it coming off while you shouting. Now you can be like, oh, I'm not ashamed. Neither am I. I still be telling you, oh, it's a wig without shame. However, just because I'm not ashamed doesn't mean I want my wig to start flying off and land on the other side of the country. I don't need that. You still want security. That's all. That's it. You still need a security wig, so there are steps you could take to do that. Trying to make sure it's covering up the other part, not that I'm gonna let the closure out. You know, sometimes you'll be trying to blend the closure out with the rest of the tracks, and then you be seeing where the closure ends and the other part meets. It's like, look, you got to fix that, you got to cover that up, you got to blend it. I don't even really think this needs gel, because it will pose more of a problem and introduce buildup that we don't need. We already have shea butter, which keeps it from tangling as much. Look at that beautiful curl. The curls have cooled and settled in place. And with the shea butter, I mean, goodness, it looks so moisturized. It looks permed. Yeah, about permed. Okay, I just need to see what we were working with. Like, okay. All right. Now, I'm going to take this off because we're going to continue. I think we got it in some water. And we're going to finish. So I'm going to talk you through it. Okay. Feels quite warm and snug. See, these are type of wigs meant for winter. Okay, don't go out there in that hot 98-degree weather and do that. Okay? I mean, you can. That's your business. I wouldn't suggest you do it. No, ma'am. If you're wearing a toothpaste, sir, I'm sorry. I don't know how you do it. Keep water and ice on you at all times. Whew. We are putting her back in place. I figured all of that was not covered. Okay. So now, all right, we're back. Told you I wasn't finna keep you too long. Not with the camera off. Not when we're doing all this work. And so, to use something a bit more heavy duty. These combs is not hidden. It's not. It's not giving what it's supposed to give. And we're meeting some tiny little tangles. And that's fine. They know we can fix. Let me go get my tool for this. Hold on. There we go. protect what you have. Now, where's the small one? I don't know where's the small one. Oh well, we may not need it. We'll see. But we definitely, this is where we go. This is the part where we're having to get into a little bit of trimming, a little bit of layering, just a little bit. Well, let's get the composition of the hair even. So let's grab about this much. It seems like I'm just having a time with it, but I'm gonna get it. This is the part where I might hold on. Yeah. Right. I have to come up a bit higher. Now the hair is off. The ends of the hair is off the ground. Have to. This is where we got to go in. We got to. In order for this to lay correctly. We're gonna tame it in a little bit. Just kind of. And now find a smaller tooth comb with a few. Oh, I'm not gonna complain. Nope, not gonna do it. I can't imagine how to do this had I not put product on it, so thank God for that. Product meaning shape. This is the part where we have to do. We're having to do some layering, and that's fine. I figured with it all being about one length that I was gonna have to do that, and that's okay. Oh, we got background noise. Gotta lock in quiet. I'm not gonna get rid of all the curls, but we're gonna get these scraggly ends here and get them together and make them look very neat. The goal is for them to look neat. And it's always better to start lower with your layers than higher, just in case you don't like it. You can fix it. Too high you can't fix it. You can put that out there. Too low you can. It's at this point I'm trying to keep the curls towards the back. The bumping of the ends towards the back. So kind of going that way. Trying to make sure this is even, so gotta take your time. So it looks like I'm cutting a lot, but I'm trying to keep the integrity of the curl. Yeah, I'm gonna have to bump that again. We'll fix it. I'm just trying to get it shaped. Right now, shape. And then we'll figure out what else to do. We really trying to make it match, okay? You feel me? Really. Trying to keep the integrity of the hair, but for it to flow well in layers. And I am not a licensed professional. I've just been doing this a long time. That's all. By the grace of God, I've not yet mastered it, but I'm okay. I'm okay. I think I do okay. This is why I stay in one place. This is why. We're getting it. Okay. And then I'll have to look at it from the other end to see if it's giving what it's supposed to give. Alright, so I'm gonna get this stuff off my pants. This does not mean I'm done yet. I'm just cleaning up before I do anything else. One thing about synthetic hair, you get to cutting it. Sometimes you don't get to cutting it at all. Synthetic, you can get 2 different brands of synthetic hair and you will know the difference. Okay? They don't feel the same. Some is softer than others, some is rougher than others. You don't want Barbie hair. Talking about I'm a friend of braided in here, or I'm friend of no. Okay. Barbie hair, to make something like this, a bird nest. A bird nest is gonna look like a bird nest. Yeah, we don't need a bird nest. Not when you're trying to do something like this. Okay, so we're gonna get most of this off the floor. Yeah, where's my stuff to grab the rest of this stuff off the floor? We can get it off the floor. Let's put this wig to the side a little bit. Even the hair looks soft that I cut. It's just, whenever it's touching my skin, it's itchy. We don't like that. Sometimes you're gonna have to use your brush as a detangling. It's getting washed anyway. So I'm gonna have to wash it in. I'm just using it to gather the hair. I think that's what I do. I'll run this through. When you wash your brushes, use shampoo. Use a little bit of it. You're already using it for hair. You might as well use it to clean your brushes and your combs. Good conditioner. Conditioner might be better instead of shampoo. So that way you don't have that buildup of the shampoo in the teeth, in the comb, and the brush, and then it's transferring into your hair. Now let's seal these ends of what we have. Noise warning. And I'm going to seal these ends with shea butter again, since these are not the same ends we started with last night, yesterday. And it's to also cut down on the shedding. I would have had a whole lot more shedding had I done this process and skipped applying shea butter all throughout. So it's just, you're literally seeing the benefit of it. Let's push this hair out of the way and show you how I like to clean up hair after a session. Because we need it. All right. This is where we get this hair up off the floor. Oh yeah, Lysol. Now, this is hydrogen peroxide. I have ranted and raved about this. I like the fact that it's peroxide and it smells like perfume. That's the best thing to put on your walls. I'm saying this as a person that loves Fabuloso. The purple and maybe the green. But there's another type of Lysol in here. It's fruity, tropical. You use this in a good washcloth for cleaning only. And get this hair that we've been dealing with all this time. Out them cracks, out them crevices. In our workspace. This is considered our workspace of hair. So that means let's get all the rest of this stuff out of the way. Let's get it out the way. Because we got to. And gonna have to put away our tools, hair tools. At this point, I don't feel like we need any heat, but we need to secure the wig. I'm trying to figure out how to do that. We clean up the hair. I just saved the bottle after it was empty. Go ahead and pour some more Lysol of another descent in it. It saves you from buying another extra bottle. So we just clean up the hair out the way before we figure out what we're doing next. Cleaning up our space. And then we can just use our space for whatever else. You should do this no matter where you work in your area for hair, because hair gets everywhere. And I say this as a person that's done it nearly all my life. Yeah. Stay in one place, have a good cleaner. Fabuloso, Lysol, or the pink one, not called the pink stuff. I feel like that needs to be a video for all on its own, so I won't go too deep into it. But we pretty much have the hair the way it is. You want to do a thin layer so you can go back and sit on it. We must secure this one. So let me figure out how we're going to secure this, which means we're not done yet. I'm pretty sure you've heard me say that a lot, and I mean it. Now that we have all this hair up out of here, off the floor, pretty much. We need to figure out. As far as securing the wig, we are looking for something. Hopefully we find it. Yeah, I don't want to have to tear this stuff this cute. Trying to think here. What do we use to secure? We need something. Trying to think of where it is. We got to secure her. We have to. secure sister girl. We have to. Because you seen the way it would fly around my head. If not, rewind it back. You can't do that. You can't have wigs flopping on the head. All right. We don't complain. We just thank God. I said we always found it. Jesus. Hallelujah. All right. We found what we're looking for. So, let's get on with it, shall we? All right. So we're going to secure this wig. Hello, hello. We're in the cutting, shaping, applying heat portion of things. You just have to run it back. We applied heat. We done curled the end, bumped the ends, whatever you want to call it. We done cut layers. So we're going to secure the wig because I don't like that flopping around. I laughed at myself so hard when I walked past the tree and thought I was, whatever. And that tree snatched my wig one day. I said, baby, from that day to this one, let's lock this. How can we lock in this wig? Not that I would be embarrassed, but just after a while you get no. Secure the wig. You ever seen somebody flowering? Did you ever seen somebody shout in church and the wig come off? I can't recall. But you don't want that to be you. That's all I'm saying. That's it. That's all. I wasn't at church when it happened to me. But it was still like, you need to secure this wig. At a young age, I'm like, The tree snatched the wig. I remember. I was over here walking to class. I was school age. Baby. I remember it like it was yesterday. I'm over here walking. Because I had kept walking underneath the tree. And I had kept, I kept getting past. God gave me grace. And then after, I had been getting warned. So, sort of like most of our relationship with God. God be trying to get your attention. After a while, he let a tree snatch your wig off. Okay? And I went through that one day. Two girls were coming this way. I was going the opposite way to the other side of the school. God, slide it back. And I heard them put it back and thought nobody see me. And they turned and looked. And I laughed with them because I wasn't really embarrassed. I just knew I had been getting away with what I thought was getting away with it for a while. And that was my reality check. After that, I started securing everything. You want to use elastic bands, by the way, since we're speaking of wig security. Okay. I never under any circumstances do I ever want you in the history of wearing wigs, this is for all wig wearers, to ever compromise or be like, or forego, oh, well, I'm going on vacation. I can go without. Lies you tell. Secure the wig. Every time I tell this story, every time I think about it, even if I don't tell the story, you be seeing me sometimes laughing to myself. Sometimes that's what I be thinking about. I got a lot of funny stories I done learned from. And it teaches us about things about our relationship with God too. Yeah, let me keep on walking underneath the doggone tree unscathed. And like, look, walking till a little too close to that tree. I ain't listening, so he let the tree snatch my wig. Okay. After that, I learned. Now, I can't remember whether or not I secured it right away after that and got into elastic bands or whatever they was doing back in the day. But baby, I held onto a little bit tighter. I tell you what, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. He brought it to my memory. After that, I started sewing my wigs down around the perimeter of the wig. This is pre-lace closure. This is before lace closures came onto the scene. So I started sewing it around the perimeter. The way I made them is like tracks, and then you could do bangs and stuff. So I started sewing them on around the perimeter with the hair sewing thread. I have no more mishaps then. I might have had a little shift of a wig, but because I started sewing them down around the perimeter of the wig, and then whenever it was time for me to take my hair down and wash and maintain what was underneath, baby, I can just cut the hair sewing thread and unravel it, and we good. Never slip ever again. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I was like, I can't remember what I did. It brought it to my memory. I started sewing the wigs down. I don't know if nobody still do that. But I've been tempted to do it a few times. But, you know, thanks to the sister that brought up the elastic band, I forgot her name. I don't even know who started the elastic band thing. But I have never played with it ever. Whether I buy a wig that's bought or I make the wig myself, elastic band is going in it. If you don't put it in there and I buy it, I'm putting it in there. Simple. I'm not going to walk around. I don't care if it's going to the grocery store. Oh, I'm gonna go run an errand. Oh, I just want to walk down the mall. I'm securing the wig. Say it with me, class. Secure the wig. Secure the wig. Yeah. Yeah. I don't play with stuff like that. Now, this elastic band needs to be kind of almost taut, but not to the point where it gives you a headache. Every time I do this, I have to think about, okay, how are we going? And it's the same for any texture. It's just, you have to make sure that you're taking your time. So we're going to brush that out the way. And mind you, even with us securing the wig, we're not done yet. Okay, I'm probably going to do some more alterations to this. I done cut, layered, put it through a whole moisturization process. You turn the wig inside out. You can do it all the way so you can really focus, or you can do it halfway. Now you can see we got all the lace, all that going on. You don't need to see that. You need to see the part where we secure the wig. Now let me try to figure this out. How I did it before. So I might have to grab one of my other wigs. And look, it's okay. It shows you how long it's been since I done it. So this is what you have here. Pull it taut. But you want to flip it inside out. And put the soft part, at least try to put the soft part over and down and around the wig the same way you did around your head. So measure around your head first. Always cut more than you think you need because shrinkage is real, just like with natural hair. And you sew it from the inside like this. So, all right. Every time I think about it, I laugh. I'm like, you know what? God warned me about that doggone tree and to stop walking underneath it like it wasn't finna touch me. That tree said, secure the wig, ma'am. Oh, I learned. Only took me one time. You always want to thread it a little longer than what you think you need. Because, of course, this looks like a shorter spot. But you always want to overdo it. Always. Now, you don't... I'm not talking about, oh, use the whole roll through a thread. Baby, you'll be sitting up here and thread this thing and have to walk out the door, down the street, down to the nearest mall, and probably still won't have enough to tie it at the end before you start something. No, just a couple inches. Just a couple inches of thread. That's it. That's all you need. I remember that. Secure the wig. Oh, that was my lesson. Then there was another time the wig came off and I caught it. And that was after that was some years back after I had learned to secure it, and maybe, I had kind of slacked a little bit, a little taste, a little bit. But after that, I pretty much, I stay on it. Okay. Yeah. You have one of them experiences. It's like, I didn't feel embarrassed. I just was like, you know what? I got a reminder from this. Looking back, God was reminding me, you need to secure that wig, ma'am. I'm trying to help you. All right. Inside, try to put the softest part on the inside. You are sewing on the inner portion, on the inside. You are, how do I explain this? You are sewing this part. Remember, we turned the wig inside out. This is the lace closure. You are putting the elastic band, sewing it on the inside, because the result is, you see me put it around my head. We're replicating, sew that in the same direction. But there's videos on YouTube for this. It's just, I'm trying to make it as simple as I can. Then there was a time I answered a doggone, I let somebody see me on cam with it without my wig on. It's just my braids, and thank God I braided it down okay. A good braid down is good. I just put up a video live stream of that a couple days ago, so check that out if you want to know how to do a really good braid down. Because if that, and just in case that happens to you, the inevitable, you want to make sure that your cornrows, your whatever your base is underneath, is secure too. You can be like, oh, somebody braided real neat, even if it's yourself and you did it. You want to make sure that when you're doing this and sewing the elastic band on the inside, that you are not just going through, well, one time and then tie it off and cut the thread. Multiple times back and forth until you can literally see a strip of thread. And you can tug on it just a tad, not rough, and know that this elastic band is secure to the inside of the wig. And the purpose of sewing it like this, to lay it flat on the inside, the same way you saw me put it around my head. I'm gonna use this as a demonstration. The same way you see this on my head, you sew this to the inside. That's what you seeing me sew to the inside of the wig near the lace closure. You're going to replicate it there. The purpose is for it to lie flat. And then when you shake, it ain't going nowhere. Perfect for shouting in church. Baby, trust me, it ain't finna go nowhere. You whip your hair back and forth, it ain't finna go nowhere. That's not a song quote. I was trying hard not to quote no song. Oh, excuse me. The key is for the wig to go nowhere. Silky straight, kinky straight, curly, water wave. It ain't supposed to go nowhere, baby. At all. Never. That's including the back part. Sometimes they'll use the elastic band and then forget about the back part. I'm gonna wait till we get to that part to show you what to do about that. Because sometimes it'll bunch up at the back. You don't need that either. That's, you wind up looking humpy. I don't want no humpy wig. I don't want humpy wigs before. Okay? And that's when I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know no better. So the same way I had to learn, I'm teaching y'all. For y'all that want to know. You also don't want no wig to make your head look, you don't want no cone shaped wig, which means it has not been broken in from sitting on a mannequin or from being in packaging. You don't want that either. You want to go back and forth here at least 3 good times, if not 2. Don't just sew through one time and oh, be good. No, that's not secure. Back and forth. Think double stitching with a sewing machine, but with your hand. If you can do this with a sewing machine, please be my guest. Double stitch it. Triple stitch it. Make sure it's not just one stitch. Okay? I don't want y'all walking around and then you with a tree snatch your wig now. Or a person. You never know. You know, you got people walking around, they think this stuff is funny. Then somebody go to snatch their hair and they figure out, oh, that ain't a wig, that's your real hair. I wouldn't do that either. I grew up in school and them girls were fighting. The first thing they go for is hair. Since I wore wigs, it's just like, what would happen in that scenario? I had to take my wig off and make sure that, and just make sure prior to that, everything's braided down real well. And so they may laugh, be like, oh, I didn't take your wig off. But I bet you when I put it back on, I'm gonna be able to walk with my head held high. I don't say this in a prideful way. Be walk like, you know what? Walk with confidence, like, you know what? And humility. At least I ain't get my wig snatched. Okay. I snatched my own wig. Even if you're not fighting, I don't condone fighting. This comes from a person that former cusser here. Okay. That's the thank you, Lord, for deliverance. Hallelujah. You just don't want to put yourself in any position at all. 3rd round here to have your wig snatched by a tree or inanimate object or a person. And if so, make sure your hair is braided neatly underneath. If you can't do it, please find somebody to do it for you. If you worry about the prices, ask somebody who knows how to do it to teach you. Or if you know, just there's a way to do it. There's a way to do it. Even without cornrowing, there's a way. All right, let me lock in. want to make sure when you're knotting it, you knot it several times. Five max. If it, just make sure it's not one or two times. And then cut that thread a little bit higher than what you think is safe. And you see how I don't have to thread it again, at least not so soon. I'm ready for the other side. And now I want you to see, so far, it's hanging. That one side so far is hanging. You see how secure that is? Sewing 3 times. Not through 1 time. Very secure, stretchy. Okay. Now we're going to replicate the other side. And with the way this looks, you're going to be able to whip it back and forth. And it ain't finna slip. Elastic band with the grooves in it. I want to make sure. Okay, so now, you see the way it's like this. That's the same way I put it on my head. Now, link it to that other side of the lace closure. You don't want to necessarily sew it through the lace closure, but where the lace closure and the wig cap meets. If that makes sense. If not, there are YouTube videos on that. I'm just giving you the quick version of it. Wig caps have their own, but it's like you have to reinforce it. Add one to it. And you're going to just layer this the same way. More than once. And you want to do this with synthetic and human hair. Human hair is going to, since it has the potential to last longer, unless you know how to take care of synthetic hair as well, that'll last a long time too. It's just a different technique than human. Made it through that. Just gonna keep going. another. Just to secure it, that's the goal. Okay. I'll put that off to the side. So I'm gonna talk you through it because I need to be able to see what it looks like at a different angle. Got that stuff set up a little differently. Wait. No. Oh, never mind. It ain't that bad. Hold on. Okay, let me finish walking through. Let's focus. Probably should not have been on the end. All right, so I'm not yet done, but we are pretty. We got a step of securing the wig done. Ooh, this thing feels a little heavy. It's giving kinky straight a little bit. Okay. All right, let's see how this. Let's see. And there we go. All right. That back isn't secured, and so that's the part I'm gonna show y'all what to do with. I'm just talking to it right now so I can look at it at a different angle. Ooh, this is thickums there. It's thick. It's thick. But it's nice and thick. It's like relaxed. Like relaxer. But like you take care of it. Type of thing. Type of relaxer. Okay. All right, that's closure, a little cricket. Okay. All right. right, see, well, you can't see it, I'm saying it to myself, but it's okay, it works, it works. Now the wig won't be slipping off at all. Okay, all righty then. Okay, see, all the work is worth it. Oh God, doing this big one. Okay. Okay, okay. I'm glad I cut. It was already long enough, but I'm glad I cut some of it. Layered. All right. That's enough playing around. Let me show you how to secure the back portion. And this is what I feel like more of the people who pre-make the wigs should be doing. You need to secure not just the portion at the lace cap, but also that back portion too. All right, we locking back in. So let me, I want to say comb this out the way, brush. I'm using a brush like this. I am back. Okay, so make sure to wrap that lace, wrap that elastic band around. You turn the cap inside out of the wig. So this is the portion at the back. Lace closure, just to show you where we are. Back. At the back, they don't secure, at least I don't see that from companies. I don't see that they secure the elastic band also to the back portion. To the nape. They call it the nape. So hold on. We gotta protect our hair. So give me 60 seconds. Maybe less. Less. Okay. We're back up in here. Less than 60 seconds. So we're also going to take what we have remaining. That remaining, this is just enough. Put the remaining portion of thread on our needle. We're going to secure a little part to the back of the nape of the wig. That's going to make it lie flat on the sides and the back all together, giving you a nice, it's going to be nice. You want to make sure you do this in the middle, so turn that wig all the way inside out. Make sure you do that. And mark where that middle of the wig is. And figure out exactly how much you finna sew. You don't want to do it all the way across, but just a small portion. And you also want to run that across more than one time as well. Okay. And I think we got enough. And so we're just going to use the rest of the thread to go back and forth in this specific motion until we run out. Now, once you've done this and you letting it sit on a wig block or whatever you want to call it, this is why you want to make sure you don't go too tight for the sake of if you're thinking about putting on your head, or for the sake of putting it back on the wig block. All right. This that's left, you want to take the time to tie the thread. Just tie it as it is. Don't try to loop. Tie. Tie it until you almost run out of thread. This is securing the weave. And then cut the excess, but still leave some. And now you have what's considered a secure weave with an elastic band on the inside. And all credit go to God, because I ain't know what to do. I didn't know which way I was going to take this. Like, what we do? Do we curl it? What we do with it? And that's where trusting God comes in. So we're going to put it back on here and let it take shape, because we have not, the lace is still on it. Very worthwhile step-by-step type of thing. Now you have to be a bit more intentional with putting it on now that you have elastic band sewn within the wig. Because now it's going to hold fast to the inside. So it fits snug. Just making sure it fits secure. And then we'll brush back with the hay system. You keep following. Okay. And then we're going to brush it. All the flyaways out the way. So I'm going to leave the lace just as it is. And now, I'm cutting nothing. We're not. Okay. Let me get this hair out the face. Can't always like that. Get everything back here. Kind of tamed a little bit. Barely any shedding in the brush. The shea butter was the step that helped a lot, in my honest opinion. It's minimal shedding. That's the goal. Shea butter is going to cut down a lot of shedding for you. And I still think I'm going to go back and rebump the ends at another time. Cut the straggly looking hairs. Other than that, I'm not having nearly as much shedding as I did prior to applying shea butter. And I am very happy about that. I have to spray this floor one more time. Lysol, of course. It's just not peroxide. It's a different scent altogether. I forgot about this. I used to refresh my bed with Lysol. That's a cleaning hack. That's for a topic for another video, so I will not elaborate whenever I'm off topic as much as I possibly can. Putting it out the way, which is good. Like that. Getting that hair out the way. And for most of it, you just catch it in the wash cloth. Easy clean up. As long as you stay in one place with the hair. Now, if somebody doing your hair, you can kind of ask politely, can you stay in one place? And they tend, for the most part, they tend to stay in one place. Most hairstylists. Now, if they wash and trim and doing more steps, then you might be moving around. But be polite, okay? I'm a hairstylist myself, just not licensed, so I used to do other people's hair. And so, a little bit familiar with how that stuff can go. Politeness goes a long way. Courteousness as well goes a long way. So, as a review, let me put her back in the frame. At least. Start putting our stuff away. So as a review, we started off with freshly moisturized hair. Synthetic, it's okay, still moisturized. With shea butter. We start off bumping the ends according to sections, and we hadn't yet touched the lace closure, of which we haven't taken the lace off from yet. Okay. Yeah, it's still there. And we started using our heat curling tools. We did some layering, and then we started incorporating the hair from the lace closure, and to blend it all in. We cut a couple inches off. The bump of the ends did not come out the way I thought it should. So I'm going to tackle that at another time. I don't know when. always say that and always mean it. I don't know when. I'm just gonna keep it that way. And we just keep cutting away the flyaways. We also noticed, well, I noticed that, I don't know if anybody else does, you can rewind it back and take notes, that applying shea butter on synthetic hair at least, one, cuts down the shedding dramatically. I have tried this before without putting shea butter on, and baby, that was like fighting with a bird in us. Tangled, tied up together. It's like trying to pry apart two cats from fight. Back up. Don't try to break up the fight. No. Call animal control. Anywho, that's never happened to me, but it's the best comparison I can think of. And you want to secure the wig. Sewing elastic band on the inside. If you don't know how to do it, YouTube University is your best friend. Or get somebody to do it for you. Practice. You should still practice even if you can get somebody to do it for you. You don't want your wig slipping off and slipping back. And then you freeze like the wind temporarily for like 2 seconds. Like, I don't know what to do. Also, have a really good braid down, either yourself or get someone to do it. Or practice until you can get good at it. Did I get everything? I don't believe I did. Also, I showed you a little bit of how to bump the ends and curl hair with a lighter hand, especially for those of you that may be heavy-handed. It takes practice. You could curl and bump the ends of hair, synthetic, I can testify for, with a blow dryer and a good brush or a fine-tooth comb. Get it blowing in the direction you want, but comb through it first, like I use this for example, and then send that blow dryer up this way, and that bumps the ends. Especially if you don't have a hair curler, a hair curling iron, or you have one but you're nervous about using it, or a flat iron is not giving what it's supposed to give. Try lightly bumping the ends like that. You can rewind it back and take notes. I want you to, because I want you to learn. I had to learn this stuff, and I'm not a professional, but I had to learn it. And it's the grace of God I got to this point. Okay. Also, the shea butter acts as a protective layer that when you're using any form of heat, it's not allowing the hair to burn, because that barrier of the shea butter that you pre-apply, you apply it first, then go in with heat. Synthetic hair only. I can't testify to human hair just yet. And it acts as a protective layer because you did not see it burn. Also, you want to, if you're going to use a heat tool, practice toggling. Toggling means flip on and off. Practice turning your heat on and off for your curling iron. Practice turning on and off for your flat iron when you're doing stuff like this for synthetic hair and you've applied shea butter on it, because then that's going to keep the temperature from getting so high that it burns and melts the hair. Overheating for synthetic melts it. Overheating for human hair kind of makes it smoky and catch flame. Okay. Rewind it back. If you didn't get it, take notes. I want you to get it. And then it also cuts down on split ends. It kind of mingles together a little bit. Also, you want to seal the ends. We were doing a lot of that when we were working in sections. Seal the ends, which means applying heat to it, because most synthetic hair is heat resistant, flame retardant. What do they call it? Heat resistant. And especially with working all these knots all over this wig, you want to put that heat directly, part if you can, if not, run it down the side of the area which you know has those knots in there. And you want to always use low heat only. High heat is going to cause it to melt and lose the shape of the hair. Then you're going to be looking like you got Barbie hair, and what you want that for? You do all that work. You're gonna be mad because you ain't gonna want to do it again. Take your time. Take your time. It is worth it. Take your time. This is not something you do in 30 minutes, as you can see. Y'all hanging out with me live. It ain't take 30 minutes. You can run it back. If you're new here, run it back. Run it back. You'll see what I'm talking about. You'll be like, oh. Okay, that's not 30 minutes. It's not. The more you practice, the better you're going to get. Start with small pieces of hair before you even attempt something like this. I had to. If I could find any photos, I remember the early days when I was first trying to attempt this. I had to practice. The smaller pieces of hair, think of it this way. The smaller pieces of hair, get a pack of hair and then take a fourth of it out. So a fourth, maybe that's about a fourth. And get a wig cap you don't care nothing about. Get a crochet needle you don't care nothing about. And practice. And then YouTube University too. That's gonna really help you get to this level. I don't even consider myself an expert at this level. I'm just looking back from the beginning to now. I am 10 times better, and I owe everything to God. That's the reason why I'm at this level. But I still want to get better, even at this level. I still want to get better. And since shea butter tends to be greasy on the hands, try not to touch your face. I know I touched a lot. Invest in a very good oil-free cleanser unless your skin is the opposite of that. That's a whole nother video. I'm not gonna start. No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna save that for another time. And then make sure you're washing your hands too. Washing it off your hands. It's greasy, but it's manageable. But you still want to get it off your hands, especially when you're officially done for the day or whatever. Alright. And make sure you clean underneath your nails. Natural or otherwise. Natural or acrylic, gel X, whatever you have. Because you're dealing with a lot of product, you're dealing with a lot of shedding hair. Just make sure, especially if you're going to eat, be careful. So, I don't know when I'm coming back, but I am. I love each and every one of you. We have cut, trimmed, styled, bumped ends, cut a few inches off, layered. the hair and secured it. Lace is still there. So we're still not done of our do-it-yourself lace wig. Of your this do-it-yourself lace closet wig. Run it back if you missed anything or you want to even attempt it or learn something new. You're going